Hello everyone and welcome to my bold and beautiful official update channel. Sheila Carter and Taylor confront Deacon. Spoilers for this week's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful state that Deacon Sharp and his therapist Taylor Hayes will continue to meet secretly and go on pizza dates. At this stage, Deacon isn't even hiding his feelings for Taylor anymore. But Deacon is still married and his wife is going to blow her top when she finds out how much time her husband is spending at therapy. It is only a matter of time before Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, walks in on her husband and Taylor as a storm is brewing in Los Angeles. Keep reading to find out what happens next on Bold and Beautiful, as spoilers indicate that fans won't want to miss a single moment of the upcoming drama. Deacon can't fight his feelings. Taylor Hayes, played by Rebecca Budig, is too tempting for Deacon Sharp, Sean Kanan. The Illinois Giardino owner's chemistry with his shrink is undeniable. According to Bold and Beautiful spoilers, Deacon and Taylor won't be able to hide their attraction for much longer. Is Sheila going to walk in on a passionate moment between her husband and his therapist? Deacon and his wife Sheila Carter, Kimberlyn Brown, are unable to avoid Taylor. In point of fact, Sheila has been going to Taylor's office almost as frequently as Deacon has. It is truly a miracle that they haven't met there already. According to B&B spoilers, everything will soon change, and Sheila's husband will need to explain. Sheila's deadly threat. The restaurant proprietor is unaware of the extent of the danger he is putting his crush in. On Bold and Beautiful last week, Sheila Carter was telling Luna's other grandmother, Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, that if she crossed a line with Deacon, she wouldn't hesitate to kill the doctor. Do you think that Taylor Hayes is in danger? Will Deacon be able to stop Sheila from going on a crime spree if she walks in on them together? On The Bold and the Beautiful, few storylines carry the same sense of looming catastrophe as one involving Sheila Carter. Sheila has repeatedly demonstrated over the course of many decades that she detonates rather than simply reacts when she feels threatened, betrayed, or pushed aside. Now, with Deacon Sharp caught in an increasingly obvious emotional entanglement with his therapist, Taylor Hayes, the stage is set for yet another explosive chapter in Sheila's long and terrifying history. What started out as harmless therapy sessions and casual pizza dates is quickly turning into a dangerous love triangle that could shatter lives, ruin careers, and leave blood on the floor literally or metaphorically. Deacon Sharp is no stranger to temptation or poor judgment, but even by his standards, this situation is spiraling out of control. Deacon ought to know better than to play with fire because he is married to Sheila Carter, a woman whose past crimes are legendary and her jealousy reaches the point of obsession. However, viewers watch as he continues to meet secretly with Taylor Hayes each week, crossing every ethical and professional line. Deacon isn't even pretending to be in control of his feelings for Taylor at this point. His longing looks, softened voice, and eagerness to spend time with her outside of therapy tell a story that words no longer can. Taylor Hayes, portrayed by Rebecca Budig, is not oblivious to the danger she's stepping into. As a therapist, she understands human behavior better than most, and she knows exactly who Sheila Carter is and what she's capable of. And yet, Taylor continues to see Deacon, continues to allow the emotional intimacy to deepen, and continues to rationalize behavior that would horrify her professional peers. Perhaps part of Taylor believes she can manage the situation, that her years of training and moral compass will keep her safe. Or perhaps she, too, has fallen into the familiar Bold and the Beautiful trap of believing that love, or at least attraction, can conquer even the darkest history. Deacon's inability to fight his feelings for Taylor has become increasingly obvious. The Illinois Giardino owner once prided himself on having turned his life around, on choosing stability and respectability after years of chaos. Marrying Sheila was supposed to be part of that redemption arc, a chance to prove that even two deeply flawed people could build something resembling normalcy. But right now, that flimsy illusion is falling apart. Deacon and Taylor have an undeniable chemistry, and every moment they steal from each other weakens his already tenuous commitment to his wife. What makes this storyline especially volatile is the sheer inevitability of discovery. Sheila Carter is many things: manipulative, violent, unpredictable, but she is not stupid. She notices patterns. She senses shifts in behavior. And lately, Deacon's frequent trips to therapy and his emotional distance at home are setting off alarms. The fact that Sheila has been going to Taylor's office almost as frequently as Deacon has made things even more complicated. The idea that these two women have managed to avoid crossing paths so far feels less like coincidence and more like the calm before a devastating storm. According to Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, that calm is about to shatter. It is only a matter of time before Sheila walks in on Deacon and Taylor together, and when that happens, there will be no room for explanations or excuses. Sheila does not process betrayal the way others do. She does not cry quietly or walk away with dignity. She retaliates, often with chilling precision. The tension surrounding this potential confrontation is already palpable, and fans know better than to expect a mild reaction. What makes the situation even more alarming is Sheila's recent conversation with Lee Finnegan. Last week, viewers were reminded just how dangerous Sheila's mindset has become when she openly threatened violence. In a chilling exchange, Sheila told Luna's other grandmother that if anyone crossed a line with Deacon, she wouldn't hesitate to kill the doctor involved. The casual way she delivered that threat sent shivers down viewers' spines, because history tells us Sheila means exactly what she says. For Taylor Hayes, those words should ring like a siren. Taylor may believe she's helping Deacon, that their connection is rooted in healing and understanding, but from Sheila's perspective, Taylor is a rival, one who holds power, influence, and emotional sway over her husband. In Sheila's mind, that makes Taylor not just a threat, but an enemy. When Sheila Carter decides that an adversary has gone too far, they rarely come out unscathed. Deacon, meanwhile, remains disturbingly unaware of just how much danger he is placing Taylor in. His guilt is obvious, but it is not the fear of someone who truly understands the consequences. Rather, it is the guilt of a man who is torn between desire and obligation. He underestimates Sheila's volatility, perhaps because he wants to believe she's changed, or perhaps because acknowledging the truth would force him to confront his own recklessness. Either way, Deacon's denial could prove fatal. As spoilers suggest, the confrontation between Sheila, Taylor, and Deacon will be anything but quiet. Whether Sheila walks in on a moment that confirms her worst suspicions or pieces together the truth through overheard conversations and misplaced glances, the result will be the same. Sheila will demand answers, and she will not accept half-truths. Taylor's professional composure will be tested like never before, and Deacon will find himself trapped between two women who represent vastly different futures and equally devastating consequences. This storyline has a lot on the emotional stakes. Engaging in a relationship with Deacon puts Taylor's career, credibility, and safety at risk. As a therapist, crossing boundaries with a patient is a serious ethical violation, one that could cost her everything she has worked for. The repercussions have the potential to destroy Deacon's marriage, business, and any remaining hope of redemption. And for Sheila, betrayal is a trigger that has historically led to violence, imprisonment, and irreversible damage. Fans can't help but wonder whether this storyline will mark another turning point in Sheila Carter's legacy. Will she completely break down and go on a new crime spree that shakes Los Angeles? Or will Deacon finally find the courage to stop her before it's too late? The tension lies not just in what Sheila might do, but in whether anyone can stop her once she decides to act. What makes this arc so compelling is that it blends psychological drama with classic soap opera suspense. Every glance between Deacon and Taylor, every suspicious question from Sheila, every mention of therapy sessions feels loaded with meaning. The audience knows what's coming, even if the characters don't or refuse to. That sense of impending doom is what keeps viewers glued to their screens, waiting for the moment everything explodes. As The Bold and the Beautiful continues to build toward this inevitable confrontation, one thing is clear: no one will emerge unscathed. Trust will be broken, lines will be crossed, and the consequences will ripple far beyond this love triangle. Whether Taylor is truly in danger, whether Deacon can prevent Sheila from crossing a deadly line, and whether Sheila's rage will once again spiral out of control are questions that will dominate the coming episodes. One wrong move, one overheard confession, or one accidental encounter could change everything. And when Sheila Carter feels betrayed, history tells us that forgiveness is never an option, only revenge.